No crash. First try. Okay, you guys want to hear a funny story, and by a funny story I mean an infuriating story. So, Seedborn DM'd me last night and said the crashes I was getting may not have been my fault, and it turns out, most likely, a good number of crashes had nothing to do with what I was doing. I may have done everything completely correctly and it may have still crashed. And the reason why is this setup it doesn't use the actual file name, it uses a copy of the file name. And the copy of the file name actually gets erased when you reset the game. But, so that means if you like reset the game and then try it again, it's not gonna work ever. And all the time I was doing those attempts, I was doing it from a reset, or from a power on, and so it wasn't gonna work. But there's a loophole. If you copy the file, it redoes the copy of the file name. So, if I want to practice this, I have to copy a file every single time. And the reason it worked the first 2 times, if you guys remember, I was complaining about how I was able to get it like the first 2 times, like 2 of the first 3 times I tried it, I got it. And then somehow I never could get it again. It's because the first 2 times I copied the file because I was just making backup copies. And then after that I never copied the file again. And so the file name copy was never there in memory. And so all of the times I was doing it, it would have always crashed. So now when I want to try this, I have to copy this file every single time just to try it out. Or alternatively, there actually is a different setup I could do that doesn't rely on the file name copy, but it's like a little bit slower and like I'd have to like re-practice a new setup and stuff. But I think I'll just do this. Plus, this is a file, or this is a setup I would do like in an actual run. No, the file name was not wrong. It just turned out that if I started from a reset, I had to copy the file before attempting it, or else it wouldn't work. And this is only new information that was figured out last night. Are you serious? Am I not even slightly mad at Seedborn? I mean, Seedborn gave me the info that, like, saved everything. Well, I mean, I guess I could technically be mad at him for not telling me this earlier, but I mean, obviously he didn't know earlier until last night. But yeah, sure, I'm mad at Seedborn for not knowing this ahead of time. Come on, Seedborn, how are you not knowing every little detail about the most complex trick in the game? He doesn't know. I enjoy doing it when I know what's going on. Yesterday it felt like a chore because I felt like I was doing everything right and it wasn't working, and now I know why. I was doing everything right and it still wasn't working. Both of those things were true, but now I know why. Two in a row? Two in a row. See? It's easy. Yeah, I do have a card on the way. Should be here tomorrow or Thursday. Hopefully it's 1.0. No wacky controller setup. Majora's Mask doesn't even use controller 3 for anything, so controller 3 can't even have any weird effects on it. I mean, theoretically, like, there could be some situation where controller 1 inputs are weird, but for this particular setup, it only requires... This only requires, precise Zora boomerang fins and precise angle for dropping a pot. Nice. I can't do a run that I would submit to the leaderboards until I have a real card. Well, I have a real card, but it's 1.1, not 1.0. I mean, I could try to learn the 1.1 setup. Or I guess there's not an angle setup for 1.1 yet. There's a heat manip setup, not a angle setup. But I think I'd just do some Everdrive runs. If my second cart comes and it's another 1.1, I'll probably do 1.1 setup stuff. eBay RNG. I'm so hyped for MM speedruns having to deal with eBay RNG. Basically the only part of the run that's RNG now is eBay RNG. Well, I guess Rupee RNG. Yep, all this and no first cycle skip. It just is because Deku is so limited. Like, SRM requires either holding an item or boomerangs, and obviously Deku can't do either of those. Deku in general is just so incredibly limited, which I mean I guess is the whole point. The entire point of in the story being turned to Deku is essentially limitations or making life harder for Link. So I mean, it worked. Amazing how easy it is when you know the one thing that was causing all of the issues. 3 for 3. Yeah, at least I got good practice out of it. Okay, yeah, I think I might actually do run soon. I actually need to do some practice of first cycle, or at least first cycle stuff. Okay, I gotta practice this very hard trick. Oh my god. The buffering is so bad, I might not do it. I'm gonna try this. I really want to do this because it's such a big deal, but the buffering is so bad. Dude, I don't want to not do this trick. But N64 buffering is so bad. I was one more frame away. Or 2 frames. Although I'm definitely feeling better about this. I'll definitely try this in a run. Easy. When are people gonna start running this? Well, a lot of people just don't have carts yet. I think some people are just waiting on carts, like me. I am waiting on cart. I am waiting on a 1.0 cart. Although, I will do some like fake Everdrive runs right after this. But a lot of people just don't have N64 stuff to even start with. Because all the kids are VC runners. So a lot of people are probably just waiting on getting N64 stuff. runners forgot this game existed on N64. Oh my god, come on. Alright, I guess I can get started on some runs. Gotta make splits. Oh nice. OOT NSR record. Yeah, that's No, this run is not valid because I'll be running on Everdrive. Okay. Let's see if I remember the file name. Alright, it's 8. This one. No. This one. Z, this one, ZZ. This one, Z. 0, F. Is that correct? I think that's correct. Yeah, that should be right. Yeah. Okay. So because of the rules, I'm gonna have to type this in every time instead of copying a file like I did with OOT. That's why I have to practice this. Let's start a run. Alright, so this will be my first ever speedrun on N64. I don't think I've ever done a run on N64. I've done runs on VC and even GameCube, not on Wii U. I wonder if there's anyone that's done runs on N64, VC, GameCube, and Wii U. Probably not. Anyone that's done a run on Wii U probably has never done a run on N64. And for that matter, GameCube actually. Hardly anyone's ever done a run on GameCube too. Okay, I made it. It was very slow. I don't know if I even saved time. I will probably upload a any% Ace run to YouTube. It may or may not be this one. GZ was originally called New Folder Copy. I think that would have been a better name. Let me go practice. Let me go practice some OOT stuff on New Folder Copy. Really? That's a new one. Yeah, dude, any% OOT, any% is over by the time gets out of first cycle. Well, I mean a good or not first cycle, but into Clock Town. A good run up to Clock Town would be faster than or OOT any%, but the fact that they're that close is funny. Carts are like 15, 20 bucks. They're not very expensive. Some 10. The issue is that there's no real way to know if you're getting a 1.0 or 1.1. It was thought that you could tell by the punch code on the back, but it was recently discovered by Kyle, Full-Grown Gaming, and I that the punch codes are not accurate because the carts that he and I got both should be 1.0 based on the punch code, and they are 1.1. So basically, if you buy a code on eBay, you're getting a random chance what cart you get. Or if the punch codes are accurate but the carts are fake. Oh man, that'd be interesting. How do I know I'm buying a 1.0 cart? I don't. I'm just hoping. So 1.0 is supposed to be the more common version. Supposedly 1.1 is much more rare than 1.0. But now that we found out this punch code thing, part of me is wondering what if 1.1 isn't actually more rare at all? How do you tell the versions apart? At this point, by doing stuff in-game, the most obvious tell is when you get Georg's remains. It's kind of off-center of where it should be on the pause screen on 1.0, and on 1.1 it's centered properly. Problem is, that's not going to... You're probably not gonna tell the eBay seller, hey, I'm interested in buying your cart, but I need to know if it's 1.0. Can you please go beat the 3rd dungeon and tell me if the remains are centered or not on the pause screen? Or you could have them hover and try to pull Ocarina out of a hover, which would be much less time consuming, but then you'd have to like teach them glitches. Okay, so I have a very important part of the run coming up. I have to copy the file. If I don't do that, the trick won't work. So this SRM I'm doing right now is to get Zora Mask. Zora Mask is necessary for the trick because you use Zora Boomerangs to set the place in memory it needs to look at. This modifies the chest here in this area, and it's gonna set it to Zora Mask. I should have delayed that a little bit so I didn't lag so much. Cool. So when I go in front of this chest, I will get Zora Mask. And now I'm gonna Death Warp, so I can do the second SRM. There's no game over screen because MM doesn't have a game over screen. So now I have to use the Zora Boomerangs in a very specific way, so that the rotation of the boomerangs is used for setting the next entrance value. If you guys know how the slingshot was used in OT 90% before the new stuff, it's basically the same as that. No crash. Where are we going? No, that's not a record. Record is like 28, low 28, I think. So this needs about 3 minutes of improvement to be record, which I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this definitely had 3 minutes of mistakes. Yeah, so if this can be improved by 3 minutes, then it can be record, which for sure it can. I mean, I lost almost a minute getting to Clocktown. Well, like 45 seconds. No worse than OT 80% nut RNG. I don't know, dude. Having that RNG be literally the first thing after first cycle is done, I don't know. That sounds pretty bad. Almost 26 minutes optimally, dang. Yeah. Well, remember that N64 has a lot of lag, so I think, well, I don't know, maybe I'm overestimating N64's lag. It's not that bad. Well, I don't know. And sometimes it feels like it's really bad, and sometimes it feels like it's not. Anyway, I'll do another run. Nice. I should learn proper movement through the first area. And I'm just do this section while playing chess. That sounds like a good idea. Having something else to do during this. I have to wait so long, dude. I think I'm gonna reset, but I actually want to see how far behind I am. I'm only 17 seconds behind. Do I continue? I can PB with this. Whatever. A lot of the things that make total control possible in OOT are gone in MM. Like a lot of the things that other things that OOT can use for arbitrary code execution are controller 3, can't use controller 3 in MM. Going back to the file select menu and removing the character limit on the file name, you can't go back to the file select menu without resetting the game on Japanese. You can on English by saving a NAL save, add an NAL statue, but then English has a much more limited character set, which means you're much more limited with what you can actually do arbitrary code execution with. You're much more limited with the actual code you can put in. Although actually, interesting enough, one possibility is there is a version that can save at OWL statues and has more characters than the English version, and that's the PAL version. So there is a chance that the PAL version may be the version best for total control. Okay, well it didn't crash, but it's pretty unlikely that this is actually taking me to the credits. Most likely it's actual Song of Time. Yeah. No! Hold on, okay, wait, I'm gonna reset. Let me practice this movement. Okay, so like, supposed to do this, right? You like jump over here. Okay, don't instant roll. This is what you do, right? I'm pretty sure I see people like jump over to this. Yeah, and then I guess that. This is the hardest part of the run. I think I should just do the easy method. Just like do simple jumps. I'm just gonna do the easy baby method. I actually got it. No. This is so hard because I have to wait so long. Slow, but it worked. MM is gonna allow Ace in any percent and ban it in every other category, most likely. That's pretty much the way Ace should always go in any game. It's hard to see it going any other way. What if Ace allowed in everything but any percent? Well, then that wouldn't make any sense because then other categories will be faster than any percent. But other categories can't be faster than any percent because any percent is the fastest category, therefore the other categories would be any percent. And then you have a paradox where Ace is banned in any percent but not the other categories, but then the other categories become faster than any percent, which would make them any percent, which means they must be banned. No. I was supposed to take damage from that. Don't die. Don't tell me what to do. And we should be off. Nice. That's 15 seconds off my 80% PB. I saved the world. Yeah, it's pretty neat. What a crappy excuse for any percent. Can't believe we skipped Gabon. Alright, let's do another run. I want a PB. I want to get a real PB. My PB is 30.09. I want to get sub 30. Am I enjoying first cycle today? No. That's so scary on N64 because of how long you have to wait for unpausing. Although I think a good run should still get like barely sub 8 entering Clocktown. No, this category is not more interesting than OOT 100%. It is, however, interesting enough to do a few runs of for a day or two. Yeah, once I get a real cart and I get a real PB, I'll submit it, yeah. Am I having a super fantastic day? Not quite, because I've had to sit through MM first cycle. But besides that, it's been okay. Really, I'm gonna barely miss PB. Dumb. I'm always so scared about how long I have to wait. No. Barely gonna miss it. I'll get a best split though. And even then, there are other glitches you can use for Deku to make Deku use bombs or powder keg or stuff. They aren't like glitches you can do anywhere, but there are ways to, in some cases, let Deku use that stuff. Use other items. What is this luck? I'm almost done. Oh my god. Someone clip that and send it to MM runners and have them be jealous of my amazing rupee RNG. I don't think I've ever seen an MM runner get RNG that good. Fake Everdrive RNG, yeah. How many grass patches was that? Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Did I only go through 5 patches? I think it was only 5. 5 or 6. No, this would not be insane record that can never be beaten. This wouldn't even... That luck probably didn't even save time. Because you can't save more time than getting to Clock Tower on time. And my PB got to Clock Tower on time, so... That luck didn't even save time. GameCube controller always outlaw. I never used an N64 controller for anything ever. I prefer to never touch that garbage. I'm here a full hour early. Wow. I get to do an old thing that I used to do during MM runs back in the day when I actually ran this game. I always used to like do this. And just sit here. Even with all that luck, I lost time. Well, I lost time probably from bad movement before I actually made it night of the 3rd day. Okay, sub 30. Low ending, but should be fine. There we go. Dude, that would have been like sub 29 if I didn't mess up the ending. That easily could have been sub 29. Yeah, too bad this isn't valid. This would be a real PB if this were on actual cart, because my actual PB is 3009. So unofficial real PB, fake real PB. Is it real fake or fake real PB? I think it's fake real PB. Yeah. Illegal PB. The speed police are gonna come after me. Okay. Anyway, it's Ogre. Stream is Ogre, and I will go find someone to raid.